Hockey teams that were awful but then became champions. Back in the early 2000s, the Chicago Blackhawks were honestly one of the worst teams in the NHL. From 2003 to 2007, they kept finishing near the very bottom of the league standings, and their games barely even got shown on TV in Chicago, so fans started to lose interest, and there was no hope at all for the team. But everything started to change, and what happened next is pretty wild. You see, Chicago had been struggling for years, but in 2006, something huge happened. The Blackhawks drafted Jonathan Toews with the 3rd overall pick, and then the next year, they hit the jackpot again by picking Patrick Kane 1st overall. And these two guys completely changed the energy of the entire team, and the Blackhawks started to get good again rather quickly. But believe it or not, they weren't the only reason the Blackhawks got so good so fast. The thing is, the team's general manager at the time, Dale Talon, worked hard to build a new core. He brought in talented players like Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook on defense, and added goalie Anteti Niemi, so Chicago started to look totally different, and fans could finally feel excited about the future again. But even with all these changes, nobody expected how quickly things would turn around. As it turns out, in just a few years, everything clicked. By the 2009 to 2010 season, Chicago had one of the best records in the league, and then they powered all the way through the playoffs to make it to the Stanley Cup final against Philadelphia. But the way the finals played out was just insane. What I mean is that the series advanced to Game 6, and in Game 6, after Philadelphia tied the game near the end of regulation, Patrick Kane scored the most confusing and legendary overtime goal that nobody even saw go in at first, and suddenly, Chicago had their first Stanley Cup in 49 years, ending one of the longest droughts in hockey.